What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Rod Too Deep. Back at it again with another video. This video is going to be my review and thoughts of Yu Hakusho Ghost Files series, episode 3. To start off the episode, Keiko was getting robbed by a group of boys. Yusuke tries to punch the robbers, forgetting that he is a ghost. Thankfully, Kabuza and his crew were there to save the day. I was shocked to see him actually fighting to protect someone. I thought he was a bully. The teaching staff at their school is a bunch of pricks outside of Yusuke's guidance counselor. They care more about their school stock than their actual students. Hate how they keep talking bad about Yusuke. Anyone who speaks on a dead, especially a dead child, gets no respect from me. The school staff member who looks like Bugs Bunny with them big choppers of his tries to punish Kazuma and his crew by taking away one of his crew members' jobs. He needs this job to take care of his mama, especially since the other siblings are too young to work, so they would be done for basically if he gets fired. But the staff member could care less because getting rid of Kazuma after the death of Yusuke will make their school stock rise to a whole nother level. But Kazuma was having none of that. He pressed the staff member into making the punishment mainly for himself. But the staff member has a plan up his sleeve. He tells Kazuma that he can't fight anyone for a week straight, or his boy will lose his job. His crew is nervous, thinking that he won't be able to go a week without fighting, but he promises them that he can do it and that he will just go home and sleep in for a week to avoid fighting. When he starts to head home, the school staff member was secretly following him to catch him in the act of fighting. Unluckily, the same group of kids that tried to rob Keiko earlier in the episode popped back up to get revenge on Kazuma for whooping their behinds earlier in the day. First, he tries to run off, but instead he runs back to them and just lets them beat him up without fighting back. He almost swung on one of them, but stopped himself while thinking about how bad his boy really needs to keep this job. The staff member is angry and decided that he will have to make this punishment a little bit more harder, so he decided the next day to make it a requirement that they all have to pass an exam with 50s and above in order to no longer be punished, and he wouldn't take away his boy's job. They all have either passed or failed by just a little under 50 points, but Kazuma had only gotten a score of 7 previously, which was 5 less points than Yusuke himself, who can't believe that he is dumber than him. To the shock of everyone, Kazuma takes his studying very seriously and studies nonstop for days straight leading up to the exam, while periodically getting beat up by groups of other kids who hate his guts whenever he would be out in public. Bowtime makes many comments about how strong of a character Kazuma is throughout the episode, and Yusuke can't do nothing but agree. You can tell he's starting to really like him more as the episode goes on. Kazuma fell asleep while studying the night before the exam, so Yusuke decided to visit him in his dreams to help him study. Kazuma was trying to fight him, but Yusuke reminded him about the exam, and he quickly remembered just how important passing his exam was, so him and Yusuke studied for it for the rest of the night. Inside of his dream, Kazuma ends up passing the test with a 53, but the staff member and the other crooked member that was plotting against him earlier in the episode, who was also raving about the stocks going up at Yusuke's wake, decided to erase one of his answers to make his score go down to a 48, which would result in him failing the exam. Luckily, Yusuke's counselor was right behind him, and he was able to hear everything. When Kazuma confronted the staff member, he almost punches him, but Yusuke's presence and feelings stopped him from actually going through with the punch. Thank the Lord, because he would have been banished from the school and his boy would have had to give up his job. Yusuke's guidance counselor almost punched the Buck 2 staff member instead of Kazuma afterwards and let him know that he knew all about what him and the other crooked school staff member had did to Kazuma's exam. He then ordered that they fix his score and also let his boy keep his job. I overall really enjoyed this episode and was shocked to see this much character development from Kazuma. I think I can speak for us all when I say this. I look forward to seeing how Kazuma continues to grow from here on out. Botan even jokes on Yusuke about his feelings growing for Kazuma, but hey, I view him as a much more likable character as well. I can't even lie. So I can't blame Yusuke for his change in feelings towards him. I almost forgot to mention that before Kazuma took his exam and had them group of kids following him unknowingly, ready to beat up on him. It was hilarious to see Yusuke possess that girl that they had knocked over while chasing after Kazuma. He really whooped their behinds, and the girl he possessed was clueless to what had happened after he unpossessed her body, and that was just really funny to me. I was really dying of laughter during that scene. And with that, I will conclude this review of Yu Yu Hakusho Ghost Files series, episode 3. I hope you all have an amazing rest of y'all days. Never stop pushing. Keep progressing no matter what hardships you face. And let me know your thoughts of the episode 3 down below in the comments. Stay blessed, everyone. Peace.